The Blackwood Forest has always been a place of legend. For centuries, hunters, travelers, and locals have told stories about people who entered the woods and never returned. Some say the trees whisper, warning intruders to turn back. Others claim an ancient presence lingers, watching from the shadows. Whatever the truth, one fact remains. Those who dare venture too deep into Blackwood often find themselves lost in a nightmare they can never escape. This is the true account of 4 friends who entered Blackwood Forest on a crisp October night, seeking adventure. What they encountered in those dark woods defies logic, but the horrors they faced are undeniable. It started as a simple idea, one last camping trip before winter. Alex, Jake, Sam, and Rachel had been best friends since childhood. They had explored countless forests, hiked dangerous trails, and spent nights under the stars, sharing ghost stories. But Blackwood was different. It had a reputation. "I'm telling you, people go missing there," Sam warned as he stuffed his backpack with supplies. "Urban legends," Jake scoffed, rolling his eyes. "I've hiked through worse." Rachel nodded. "Besides, we'll only be there for one night, just some campfire stories and a few beers. It'll be fun." Alex, the quietest of the group, hesitated. Something about Blackwood unsettled him, but he didn't want to be the one to back out. So, against his better judgment, he packed his gear and joined the others. By sunset, they reached the edge of Blackwood. The towering trees loomed over them, their skeletal branches twisting against the darkening sky. A cold wind whispered through the leaves, carrying a scent of damp earth and decay. "This place is eerie," Rachel muttered. "That's the point," Jake grinned. "Now let's get moving before it gets too dark." They stepped into the woods, unaware they had just crossed a threshold into something far worse than they could ever imagine. The deeper they ventured, the more unnatural the forest felt. The towering trees grew so thick that the sky was barely visible. The air was heavy, suffocating, but what disturbed them the most was the silence. No birds, no insects, not even the rustling of leaves. "Something's off," Alex whispered. Then they heard it, a whisper. It was faint, like wind slipping through the trees, but there was something disturbingly human about it. "Did you hear that?" Sam asked, stopping in his tracks. "Hear what?" Jake asked, though his voice wavered. The whisper came again. This time, it was clearer, more distinct. "Turn back." Rachel grabbed Alex's arm. "That wasn't the wind, probably just an echo," Jake reasoned, though his bravado was fading. "Let's keep moving." They pushed forward, but the deeper they went, the louder the whispers became. They seemed to come from everywhere, from behind, from ahead, from the trees themselves. Then the worst happened. The path was gone. They had followed a clear trail, but now, nothing. Just endless trees stretching into the darkness. "This isn't possible," Sam whispered, his face pale. "We didn't take any turns." Rachel's breath came in short gasps. "We need to go back." But the forest had other plans. Night fell quickly, swallowing the forest in pitch-black darkness. They set up camp in a small clearing, huddling close to the fire. The whispers had stopped, but something far worse had replaced them. Eyes. Dozens of them, glowing faintly in the dark, just beyond the fire's reach. "They're watching us," Rachel whimpered. No one spoke. No one moved. Then, one of the figures stepped forward. A twisted thing resembling a human, but wrong. Its limbs were elongated, its fingers impossibly long, tipped with jagged nails. Its face was obscured in shadow, but its eyes, empty, hollow voids, bored into them. Then it smiled, a slow, unnatural grin that stretched too wide, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. Alex felt his body go cold. The creature whispered, a voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "You shouldn't have come." Then the others stepped forward. They were surrounded, and the fire was dying. Panic took over. "Run!" Jake screamed. They bolted into the darkness, branches slashing at their skin. The whispers turned to shrieks, inhuman and deafening. Alex ran blindly, his breath ragged. He could hear his friend's frantic footsteps behind him, but something else was there too. Something fast, something hungry. Then, a scream. Rachel. Alex turned back, but she was gone. The trees had swallowed her. "Keep going!" Sam shouted, dragging Alex forward, but one by one they disappeared. First Rachel, then Jake, then Sam, until only Alex remained. Alex didn't know how long he ran. His body was battered, his mind fraying. The whispers had returned, but now they were inside his head, mocking, laughing. "You're alone now." Then he saw it, a clearing. In the center stood an ancient cabin, its wood rotting, its door slightly ajar. With no other choice, Alex stumbled inside. The whispers stopped. Silence. For the first time he felt safe, until he saw the walls. They were covered in names. Hundreds, thousands. Some old, faded, others fresh, scratched deep into the wood. At the bottom, he saw 4 new names. Rachel, Jake, Sam, and then his own. The door slammed shut. The whispers returned, and Alex screamed. Weeks later, search parties found nothing. No bodies, no traces, only a single carving on a tree at the forest's edge. Don't listen to the whispers. No one ever heard from Alex, Rachel, Jake, or Sam again, and Blackwood Forest remains, waiting, listening for the next visitors.